Hello, royal fans. Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you all the latest updates and insights from the world of the British monarchy. Today, we're talking about King Charles's upcoming visit to Australia, which has already sparked quite the controversy. With 6 state premiers reportedly declining to attend a special reception welcoming the king, monarchists are calling this a blatant snub. But is there more to the story? Let's dive into the details. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button if you enjoy royal news. Your support helps us keep bringing you all the most important updates from the royal family. King Charles is set to visit Australia this week, and his arrival has already stirred up strong emotions on both sides of the monarchist and republican divide. On the one hand, monarchists see the visit as a significant moment for the nation's relationship with the British crown. On the other hand, Republicans are seizing the opportunity to reignite discussions about whether Australia should finally break ties with the monarchy and become a republic. At the center of this controversy is the decision by the 6 state premiers, representing New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, and Tasmania, not to attend the reception in Canberra welcoming the king. This move has left many monarchists, including pro-monarchy politicians, furious. Bev MacArthur, a prominent figure in the Australian Monarchist League, called the absence of the premiers insulting and indefensible. According to MacArthur, the least these elected officials could do is make the trip to Canberra, pay their respects, and thank the king for coming to Australia. They should just take off their Republican hats, make the short trip to Canberra, say hi, and thank him for coming to Australia, MacArthur declared. But while monarchists are fuming, Republicans are framing the decision as symbolic of the growing desire in Australia to cut ties with the British monarchy altogether. For Republicans, this so-called snub is just another sign that Australia is ready to move on from its colonial past and elect its own head of state. So why exactly are these state premiers opting out of the event? According to reports, they've cited various scheduling conflicts and other commitments as the reason for their absence. For instance, the Premier of Victoria, Jacinta Allen, said she was tied up with important government business, but was still very pleased that King Charles is visiting Australia. When pressed on the issue of whether Australia should become a republic, Allen stated that while she supported the idea, it wasn't currently a top priority for her. This pragmatic approach reflects the general sentiment of many Australians who, while open to the idea of a republic, aren't actively pushing for it at the moment. Victoria's deputy premier won't be attending either, which means the state will be represented by Governor Professor Margaret Gardner instead. In fact, all 6 states will have their governors in attendance, representing them in an official capacity. But for MacArthur and other monarchists, this simply isn't enough. They argue that the elected heads of these states should be the ones welcoming the king, not just their appointed governors. What do you think? Should the premiers have made the time to attend the event, or are their reasons valid? Let us know in the comments below. This reception snub has reopened the conversation about whether Australia should ditch the monarchy altogether. While the Australian Monarchist League remains firm in its support for constitutional monarchy, the Australian Republic movement has been vocal in pushing for change. Their stance is that it's time for Australia to have its own head of state, someone who can fully represent the interests of the nation and work for Australia on a full-time basis. Isaac Jeffrey, a spokesman for the Australian Republic movement, labeled the king's visit as part of the monarchy's farewell tour. For Republicans, this visit serves as a reminder that the monarchy is an outdated institution, and it's time for Australia to stand on its own. It's time for Australia to elect a local to serve as our head of state. Someone who can work for Australia full-time, Jeffrey said. This debate is far from new. Australia has flirted with the idea of becoming a republic for decades. The most notable attempt came in 1999 when a national referendum on whether Australia should become a republic was narrowly defeated. However, polls suggest that support for the monarchy is declining, and more Australians are open to the idea of becoming a republic. Still, recent polling indicates that Australia is not quite ready to break up with the monarchy. According to MacArthur, polls show that more Australians still prefer to remain a constitutional monarchy rather than move to a republic. She argues that the current system offers a stable and effective form of government, while an elected president would just add another unnecessary layer of bureaucracy. What do you think, royal fans? Should Australia stay a constitutional monarchy, or is it time for the nation to embrace a republic? Share your thoughts with us below. Buckingham Palace has remained silent on the reception controversy, preferring not to get involved in what is clearly a politically charged issue. However, the king himself has made it clear that whether or not Australia becomes a republic is a matter for the Australian people to decide. In an exchange of letters with the Australian Republic movement, King Charles confirmed that the future of the monarchy in Australia is in the hands of its citizens. He has taken a neutral stance, recognizing that it's up to Australians to choose their path. It's worth noting that this visit to Australia will be one of King Charles's biggest trips since his cancer diagnosis earlier this year. Many royal watchers are viewing this trip as a pivotal moment in the king's reign, one that could either strengthen or weaken the ties between the British monarchy and Australia. So, what's next for the monarchy in Australia? While this latest controversy has certainly stirred up debate, the truth is that Australia's relationship with the monarchy is likely to remain complex for the foreseeable future. On the one hand, there is still significant support for the monarchy, particularly among older generations and more conservative voters. On the other hand, younger Australians and progressives are increasingly questioning whether the monarchy has a place in a modern, multicultural Australia. As King Charles continues his reign, he'll have to navigate these complex dynamics, both in Australia and in other Commonwealth nations. While he has made it clear that the decision is up to the people, his ability to connect with Australians and maintain the monarchy's relevance in their lives will be crucial in determining the future of the Crown Down Under. Thank you for joining us today for this in-depth look at the controversy surrounding King Charles's visit to Australia. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more royal updates. And of course, leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the premiers should have attended the reception? Or is this a sign that Australia is ready to become a republic? Until next time, stay tuned for more royal news, and thank you for watching.